partly sunny, a little sun peeking out, and very cold. It's a Thursday morning in Northeast Ohio. The weather sucks. What are you going to do? This is the deal. We should be.
Are we prepared for Armageddon this weekend or whatever, Snowmageddon?
I mean, is it really going to be that bad? We're used.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we live in New Orleans.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily going to be quite so bad for us because we understand how to deal with snow to some degree. But these other areas in the middle United States to southern United States that don't deal with snow and ice, I mean they're gonna be in a tough way because
let's suck it up now.
But honestly, and this is very serious.
Yeah.
Not to get too serious about it, but like if the ice happens with what they think could happen, there could be parts of the country without power for weeks.
Yeah.
So like that is very scary considering we could have sub-zero temperatures and people without power. So, I mean, I know I'm going to make fun of it, but like, and have fun with snow and stuff like that. But be careful, man. It's kind of scary. If this does come to fruition, it can be dicey.
And people don't prepare for these things. I feel like it's like if you live in everybody just assumes it's not going to happen, that everybody's panicking and whatever. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see. But obviously,
just don't make plans for like a road trip this weekend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Just hunker down, stay at home. There's not any football on, but I don't know.
What do you mean there's not football on Sunday?
What's this weekend?
It's championship weekend. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, yeah, it is.
Jeez, you lost in the soup. I am. What did you think it was the week before the Super Bowl?
For some reason, because the Bills lost, I just my mind has gone like in the shitter.
Wow, essentially. That's crazy. Crazy.
I forgot Sunday is the title game. So yes, but our kids are probably getting off school Monday, so that's good news.
Maybe Friday, maybe tomorrow.
I think
it's
tomorrow
supposed to be freezing cold. Who knows? Aaron's got a swim meet at Cleveland State on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. He's got to be there in the morning.
What's crazy though, dude, is typically like more north we get all the snow and the bad weather, like towards downtown.
Yeah,
but this is going to be different. Like I think it's going to be worse in Columbus than it is in Cleveland.
Yeah, it could be crazy. Yesterday, it was funny because yesterday Aaron had a wrestling meet in Medina, which obviously
I love that your kid does like they're not random sports, but they're not sports that typically I would think your kid would participate in. Maybe wrestling more so than swimming.
Yeah,
but it's cool. And my kid's playing tennis. I mean, who knew?
It's funny. His best sport is swimming. And he's lean. He's tall and lean. So unlike his dad. But it's funny because I was watching the wrestling meet was at Buckeye Junior High School.
Okay.
And shout out to their coach and their team. The Buckeye, it was a 3-team thing. It was Rocky River, Buckeye, and then Hillside. I don't know where
like a tri meet.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Hillside School is. But how it works is, like the first matchups were. It was us, Rocky River versus Hillside, and then it was us against Buckeye, and then after we were done, then it was Hillside versus Buckeye, so we didn't stay for that. But the first matches was us against Hillside. It was very even. They beat us. They won one more match than we did, so they won the last match to win that competition. It had been tied. Then we played Buckeye. Oh my God, we only won one match.
Out of how many matches?
Besides a couple of forfeits, because there was, there may not be. They didn't have a kid.
What are there like 8-10 matches?
It was more than that. Of the matches that only wrestled, that actually wrestled.
Yeah,
we probably lost 15 of 16 matches.
Oh, okay.
And it's like we have some kids that are decent, but that team for 7th and 8th grade wrestling, I was like, oh my God.
How is your son at wrestling?
Well, he's new. I mean,
holding his own though.
He won his first match, but it was by forfeit because they didn't have a kid in his weight class.
Okay.
Initially, but then he wrestled against Buckeye.
Someone a little more experienced.
Dude, this kid, I saw him. He was standing there in like a robe, like he was a boxer.
Yeah.
And so far, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's his weight class, Aaron has gone up against an 8th grader that's been experienced every match.
Yeah,
I think if he went up against other kids that were his experience level, he'd do well because he's strong. But he's only been, doing wrestling for a couple of months. So I see this kid. I'm like, I said to Liz, I I know he's going to end up wrestling this kid. I could tell I was like, and this kid's going to be nasty. And he was.
Well,
but he hung in there. I mean,
as long as Aaron keeps a good mindset with it, this could be a benefit. Facing these tougher opponents early.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when he gets to somebody that's more evenly matched, he's probably going to destroy the kid.
I think so, because he has faced all these really good really good wrestlers for their age. The kid, so he ended up wrestling 2 matches. One of them was this kid who was just the best kid I've seen wrestle in these 5 meets. This kid was fantastic. So he got pinned, but he hung in there. But his other match, like, the kid was good too. And he lost, but he went, he hung in there a while. He almost had the kid. He had his ankle, and he was like trying to, flip him down, and he just couldn't. The kid broke out of it. But at least he scored a couple of points in that match. But
nice.
Shout out to that Buckeye program, man. They are nasty. What's interesting, too, is, like, there are girls, because a lot of these schools don't have a girls' team for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's girls on some of the team, and Buckeye had one girl on their team, and I wouldn't want to wrestle her. She was badass. She won. And so it's interesting dynamic. I don't know if that changes when you get to high school or whatever, but anyway, it was cool. They do a good job with the wrestling, but I'm just really learning the rules. I feel like I would have been a good wrestler as a kid. If my school had wrestling when I was a kid, which we didn't. I think I would have been good, because I'm short. I mean, obviously now I'm in terrible shape, but at the time I wasn't. So,
my buddy Josh, who you met,
was
a really good wrestler growing up. He actually coaches his kids, and he was a high school coach at Hoban for a little while too. But his kids, like, I want to say his son is a little younger than our kids.
Yeah,
like probably 3rd grade, 4th grade, something like that. Anyway, it's funny, man. These kids are to see them in their little singlets and wrestling. It's kind of cute.
He loves wearing, they got the jackets and the shorts, and he loves the whole thing. Anyway, hopefully I haven't bored everybody to death with these.
I know. Sorry, we can move on to other things.
Let's get a couple of comments here before we get to the Browns coaching search. Sammy Hill, as always, with the Bull and Fox emojis. S.A. Spencer says, good morning, y'all. I live in Nashville. We don't have salt trucks here, any snow or ice, and the town shuts down.
Yeah, Nashville's a tough town when they get some winter weather, for sure.
Yeah. I wonder, and Nashville's a city that's, I think, really exploded in terms of population in the last decade.
Yep.
So it's got to make it even trickier. It's funny because, like growing in New York City and New Jersey, they're used to snow. They don't get as much snow as we do, but they're used to it. It's not like it's Louisiana. But it's hard because everybody parks on the street, so it just makes it such a pain in the butt. So a lot of times you'll get plowed in, and then you have to dig yourself out of that. It's awful. Where here, like most people park in driveways or garages or whatever. It's not,
or they know when the snow's coming and they don't park on the street.
Yeah, exactly. Sammy also says that's why it's vitally important to have some type of generator backup at your home.
Yeah, I've always thought that, and we've never invested in one.
Yeah,
and because they're very expensive, and I've lived in this home now since 2019.
Yeah,
and our power is not now. It goes out probably for a month, but we've lost power like one time in 6 years.
We lost power once in the summer for 3 days, which was
I remember that.
Finally, Trev from Delaware says, I played an Asimova and Sinner parlay for the Aussie Open.
And Asimova.
Fox Steady.
Yeah, it was yesterday. We remember, or Tuesday, he asked for some favorites.
Oh, right, that's right.
Nice, I like that.
There you go. Okay. All right, coaching search, the latest. What is the latest? We know Mike McDaniel is out. And yesterday there was a report from Jordan Schultz that he did put the caveat that other guys could be added. But that right now he's reporting is that Nate Scheelhaase of the Rams and Grant Udinski of the Jaguars are the finalists for the job. That that with either of them, they'd prefer that Jim Schwartz stays as the DC. Let me ask you this, Dustin. If you're Jim Schwartz and you want to be a head coach again, we know he wants to be a head coach again because he's interviewed for jobs. And they hire, and you're 60, and you've been a head coach, and you've done a great job with the defense. And they hire 35-year-old Nate Scheelhaase or 30-year-old Grant Udinski. Are you pissed and leaving? Or are you like, you know what? Let me keep kicking butt, these guys are probably going to just leave me alone on defense. I'll do my thing, and we'll keep dominating.
Without knowing any intimate details
right, you don't know him
of
personally.
his internal workings with the Browns and with his relationship with Stefanski and his relationship with other people in that building, his relationship with his family, like what is going on with it? Like, does he like the fact that he wouldn't have to move again? I mean, there's a lot of factors that have to go into this.
Good point.
Yep. There's also like, what if he didn't like Kevin Stefanski? What if him and Stefanski didn't get along? What if he's like, you know what, I really love this team. I would love to be here, but this guy was, you know what? I doubt that's the case.
You never know.
But you never know.
Yeah.
And also, what if you know, Schwartz is like, talk to Udinski and he's like, you know, the kid's like, hey man, I need you. I need your help. I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna rely upon you, but like your defense is your defense. Like I'm not touching what you do. Maybe he likes that. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors here that we don't know.
You know, we bring up Sean McVay quite a bit, especially when talking about these two coaches. One, Udinski would pass him, I believe, as being the youngest coach of all time. And obviously Scheelhaase has worked for him. When the Rams first hired Sean McVay, they had Wade Phillips as their defensive coordinator, right?
They did. And it worked well.
Yeah. And
they got to a Super Bowl.
Right. And I don't think Sean McVay, that I can remember, had any kind of, you know, relationship with Wade Phillips, did he?
They did not. They did not.
But Sean was like, yeah, I'm a young coach, and I have this asset here. Again,
I guarantee you, if it's Scheelhaase, that he'll probably beg Schwartz to stay.
I would think either guy.
Because McVay in that relationship, and McVay would probably tell Nate and be like, dude, this was the game changer for me. Keep Schwartz.
If these two guys are as smart as we think they are, as we've been told they are, then the smart thing is, again, I've said all along, it's a mistake if the Browns force it on these guys, but it's great if these guys want him to stay. And you would think that Scheelhaase and Udinski would both want Jim Schwartz to stay. That's the smart play.
No doubt.
You know, he knows the defense, as much as I don't want Jim Schwartz to be the head coach, and I'm ultimately okay if they decide to bring in another DC. If the head coach wants to keep Schwartz as DC, I think that's ideal. It is ideal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jim Schwartz, depends how much credit you want to give him.
Right.
But Myles Garrett just had his best season ever.
Yes.
And you had a rookie be rookie of the year defensively.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So, I mean, guys have played their best.
Yes.
Under this guy.
Well, I think Denzel Ward's playing his best football with him.
Yep.
Obviously, JOK, you see, before he got injured, the turnaround he had under Jim Schwartz. So there's a lot of reason to like Jim Schwartz. So to me, ideally a Scheelhaase Schwartz combination is a good thing. I like it. I'll live with Udinski and I'll give him a chance. And clearly he's, after I feel better about hiring Udinski after speaking to Mike Pettin yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
For those folks who don't know, Mike Pettin was on with us, the two of us and G. Bush on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. He is clearly not a fan of Brian Flores, who, by the way, signed an extension with Minnesota yesterday, assuming he doesn't get a head coaching job. But obviously he and Pettin did not see eye to eye. That was very interesting.
What was crazy about that moment on our show was that, like, when you asked the question, it was just so innocent. And then he didn't, like, I thought he handled it well by not, like, throwing anybody under the bus. But it made us our eyebrows raise because we were both, all of us, and G. Bush included, were like, what's going on there? That was uncomfortable a little bit because I didn't know there was anything between the two.
No. And
honestly, I didn't know really what Pettin did in Minnesota, but when he was like, basically I stayed on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. And because I would have thought, because he was talking about hard-nosed coaches but no, obviously this, and it doesn't really matter anyway because Brian Flores is not coming here. But I did think that was interesting, and so it looks like, and again, we don't know that Jordan Schultz is 100% correct. There may be some other guys in the mix. There's still a lot of jobs out there. I mean, This has got to be, maybe I'm just being prisoner of the moment on this, but I believe there are 6 jobs still open, right? Am I right about that? The Bills, the
Ravens,
Steelers,
Cardinals,
Browns,
Raiders. Yeah.
6 jobs open on January 22nd. I mean, I feel like usually by now you're down to maybe 1 or 2 jobs still open. But it's possible we're going to the Super Bowl week with 6 jobs still. I don't know. I figure sometime in the next couple of days, maybe a couple of more jobs tick off the board. But that's it. It was fascinating is like Terry Pagula was just kind of wacky the other day after his press conference. And obviously that's a great job in terms of you get Josh Allen. But that roster needs a lot of work around him, I think.
I heard Ryan Fitzpatrick, one of my old teammates when I was in Buffalo, who was very close to, Bills fans love him.
Sure.
And he's a big part of, Bills Mafia and that whole deal. He said on his podcast with Andrew Whitworth that he believes, he didn't give like an opinion of who he wants the Bills to hire.
Yeah.
But he suggested, and I agree with him, that they should hire somebody who's a veteran, who's been around, who can push Josh because, Josh is I think 9 years in now. So like he's right at probably the midway point of his career. Probably has another, hopefully 8 to 10 years of like this level of football. Hopefully if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
And he needs to go to the next level. And he to do that, and this is the point that Fitz made, is like if they bring in some dude who's 30 years old or 35, Josh is going to be like his best friend.
Yeah. Right.
They're going to be like golfing together and hanging out. And it's like he needs somebody that's going to like try to get the most out of him.
I actually think Brian Daboll makes a lot of sense for the Bills.
Agree too.
I know it was your son.
It was Tatum's idea. It was the first. It was the first thing he got out of his mouth, and it wouldn't have been mine.
Yeah, it was a good job out of him. I think he's right. They have that relationship. He was with him when he was younger, so they probably don't have a buddy relationship. I'm sure they get along, right? He was the reason he got that Giants job is because he did a great job with Josh Allen and helping to develop Josh Allen. And obviously it ended bad with the Giants. And I gave the stat yesterday that almost every coach that's had a losing record has failed the second time around. But it's going to be pretty hard to fail with it. Now, you might not win a Super Bowl, but you're not finishing under 500 with Josh Allen. That's if he's healthy. That's not
no way.
So if Fitzpatrick is right and they're going to go the veteran route, Daboll probably makes the most sense. I don't know that Daboll's getting any other opportunities at other places, but Buffalo makes sense. Out of Baltimore, I haven't heard any. I don't know what's the feel about Baltimore right now.
Man, I don't know.
Or Pittsburgh. I feel like I don't know who's going to be their coach. I kind of feel like Pittsburgh's going to hire somebody we're not.
What's so surprising is you got 3 teams: Baltimore, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
3 teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
That all 3 of those teams going into next year expect to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. And Pittsburgh, it might be a stretch. Maybe.
Yeah, but if you're a Steelers fan, you expect to go to the playoffs.
Absolutely. And if you're Baltimore, Buffalo, you're a fan, you expect to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So the fact that those jobs are available right now, I think that's a big part of the reason that the jobs are not going fast, because any coach that has an option would want Buffalo or Baltimore or Pittsburgh. So some of the Browns and the Cardinals jobs are the worst jobs. So it may be hard to get a commitment from someone that has options for those 2 teams.
Have the Browns fulfilled their Rooney Rule commitment?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I saw something about this last night, and it was like, okay, how can we have a finalist or finalists?
Yeah, that's
when
true.
We haven't fulfilled the Rooney Rule.
If you hire Nate Scheelhaase, do you have to fulfill the Rooney Rule?
Is he a minority?
I believe so.
Yeah. I'm not sure what nationality or what he is, but he's a minority.
Yeah.
I believe.
So, yeah.
Do you have to interview 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think they haven't at this point. So we'll see. Let's see. Scheelhaase's dad, by the way, started at defensive back. Started for the 1985 team that lost to UCLA in the Rose Bowl. Oh, all right. Anyway, I don't know why that was important. I was trying to get some more background on him. Let's see. Sammy says, I do wonder if there's been any communication between Haslam and Coach Prime about the job. No. Coach Prime is not in the mix.
No. Are there any college coaches that would be in the mix? Probably not now, right? Can't imagine a college coach, when they're in the midst of all the portal signing, all this stuff, would even be in a position, to go to be a head coach. You'd have to be a really good college coach, and all the good college coaches, like Ryan Day's not going to the pros.
No. I mean, Kurt Cignetti, is he going to the NFL?
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. I mean, if Kurt Cignetti said he wanted to go to the NFL, one of these teams would hire him 100%.
And pay him whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants. And that
Including
doesn't mean
the Browns.
and it doesn't mean it's going to work. Just because you're great in college doesn't mean it's going to work in the NFL. But
I bet it'll be better. I promise you, be better than most of these guys.
I mean, what Kurt Cignetti, and I understand there's money involved, but there's where is Indiana in terms of spending money? Where have they been?
No, they're not. They'll be higher now that Mark Cuban about.
Yeah, once Mark Cuban gets involved, I get it, but they haven't been. I don't know where they've been. But certainly they spent way less than Ohio State did.
Oh, God, yeah. And not to mention, they have no 5 stars. And
right.
Mostly 3 stars.
You could argue.
It tells you this guy's getting the most out of the talent that he has.
I mean, you could argue Kurt Cignetti over the last 2 years, especially this year, but over the last 2 years, has done a better coaching job in college than almost anybody ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make the argument that Kurt Cignetti, the job that he did over the course of the last 2 years with what Indiana was to where they are now, a 2-year stretch of any level of football and maybe the history of football, maybe the greatest coaching job ever.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to
and
argue.
That's not hyperbole.
No, it would be hard to argue against that. I mean, before anything before the 80s, who knows? But it was so different then. But I don't know. I can't imagine you could do a better job than that.
I mean, it historically, Indiana was like the losingest program ever.
Yeah, they've been garbage forever.
I mean, they hadn't won a bowl game since 1991.
Yeah. Well, and then look. I mean, you look what they did. They beat, even going into the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State. We were all like, yeah, well, we'll see. Who have you beaten? And then they did beat Oregon early in the year.
Yeah,
but then
on the road, by the way.
Right. And in the end, they beat Oregon twice. They beat Ohio State. They beat Miami and Alabama. And none of those games were home games. The one Oregon game was on the road, as you said, and the other 4 were on neutral sites.
Yep.
Which is quite remarkable. So, yeah, just an incredible season. So, yeah, I mean, if he wanted an NFL job, but if that were the case, we would be hearing about it already. That wouldn't be kept. That wouldn't be kept under wraps.
Yeah, no. But I like Mendoza now.
Oh, now you're in on him.
I mean, I don't know that I was ever all out on him. I was skeptical.
Yeah.
About him, mostly because, like, I'm human, man. Like, I watch these interviews and I'm like, it's a little cringeworthy. That's a little bit, he's whatever, over the top.
Very dorky. Yeah.
He's kind of dorky, but. I've read more about his story. His mom was a Division I tennis player at Indiana.
Oh, that's what got you in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sucked you in there on Mendoza.
She was, and she tried to get Fernando to play tennis growing up, but he picked football over tennis.
I mean, he kind of looks like a tennis player a little bit.
Yeah, he's long, lanky. Dude, they grew up in Miami. Of course they played tennis.
Yeah.
That's the tennis capital of the United States.
That's funny. And it's amazing. And so we'll see. I'd be interesting to see how he does in the pros. I mean, obviously he's going to the Raiders. They don't have much. They have a pretty bad offensive line, but he's got a pretty awesome running back in Genti, one of the best young backs in the league, and one of the best tight ends in the league. Obviously, they have really nothing at wide receiver, so they got to improve there, and they got to get better on the offensive line. But
they still got the what's his face, the unbelievable tight end, right? The kid from Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, he was banged up this past year, so he didn't have a good second year.
Still had a catch against, I think, the Chargers that was ridiculous for a touchdown. I remember this was like Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know why I remember that, but anyway.
Yeah. Sammy says, after hearing Coach Pettin speak to you all yesterday, I kind of like Udinski now.
That was a good story.
Yeah.
I didn't know all that, too, so I'm glad we asked him about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg says the Brian Flores question was crazy yesterday. Watch him go to the Steelers. I could see Brian Flores end up with the Steelers.
Did that answer from Pettin give you pause on Flores? Because Mike Pettin seems like the most agreeable, likable, easy to get along with kind of guy.
It did that, but you know what? But Brian Hoyer loved him, right? So it did give me a little pause, sure. I'd still be happy if the Brown, sometimes guys don't get along. Doesn't mean one guy's a bad guy.
I understand that, but there are people you have in your life, Adam. I'm sure that you have that you're like, if that guy doesn't get along with him, like if someone didn't get along with Keith Britton, you'd be like, what's wrong with that guy?
Well, Keith is not necessarily a people person, though.
Whatever. I'm saying, like, I'm just trying to pull out somebody who's like the most innocent, pure guy we know.
The most innocent, pure guy
like, if you don't get along with him.
Daryl Ryder.
Nah, people don't like Daryl. Daryl rubs people the wrong way. I love Daryl.
Yeah.
You love Daryl. We love Daryl. Daryl's my guy.
But
no. I'm trying to. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Now I need to think about who's the most innocent, pure person we know.
Jeff Phelps.
Okay, Jeff Phelps. It's
if
hard
you don't
to
get
hate
along
Jeff.
with Jeff Phelps, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Jeff is very vanilla.
And just an easy, cool guy.
Everybody loves vanilla ice cream. Who doesn't like vanilla?
Yeah, losers.
May not be your favorite flavor, but you like it.
It just goes with everything.
Yeah, Sammy says Jeff Phelps is a good choice. Who is the least wholesome person we know? Anthony Lima.
That was my first thought. No, what's funny though is Lima is
now he's different. Now he's a family man.
He was never a bad guy.
No,
he was just squirrely.
Yeah.
Still is squirrely.
He's a shady character, but he's not.
But he's our shady character.
Yes, 100%. Who else is shady? I don't know. Nobody else is coming to me.
No one else I'm going to mention on the air.
Oh, oh yeah. Well, how about Booms?
I thought about Chuck the other day. I wonder what Chuck's up to.
What were you? I don't need to pound.
It was a positive thing.
Oh wow,
it was positive. I
that
had a
guy
positive thought.
He's a mess. But honestly,
what's Kevin Kiley up to these days?
I have no idea.
Is he still kicking?
As far as I know,
man,
I'm honestly shocked that Booms is still alive. To be totally honest, with what he was doing, in his life. But good for him. You
ever think about that? Like, you think about people in your life, you have in your life that you haven't seen in 10, maybe 15 years.
Yeah.
And they were living hard then.
Yeah.
And you think, man, are they still alive?
Yeah. People could say that about me.
How are they still alive?
I don't know. So, yeah. Well, how the hell did we get on this subject?
Because Mike Pettin doesn't get along with
Flores.
Flores.
Right. Yeah. So that took us down.
Sorry,
this road.
It's my fault.
No, that's all right. For some reason, I was just thinking about Andy Roth walking into a signpost. I don't know why that.
For some reason, that came into my head about 10 minutes ago when we were going through all the people we know.
Yeah. For those who don't know, sure, if you've been following us a long time.
Hey, by the way, Andy Roth's getting Stefanski. We should have texted him.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. So Andy Roth was our program director at 92.3 The Fan.
Yeah.
Sure. Baskin refers to him as the Poobah. He left a few years ago, and Keith took over, and Andy's down in Atlanta. But Andy, I used to, Andy and I would get into it sometimes, but I liked Andy, right? We'd have our moments.
Yeah.
But he was the biggest doofus of all time in terms of just being like a klutz. And he's
just clumsy, man.
And he made me look like a good athlete. I mean, he one time we went for lunch. It was Dustin, Keith, myself, and Andy, and we're walking back to the radio station. And he walked into a street sign, face first, into a street sign, and we're trying not to die laughing and just thinking about it now. I still can't believe I've never seen anybody else do that in my life.
It sounded. It sounded like a car hit a sign. I mean,
like somebody hit him in the face with a shovel.
But it was his. Yeah, that's even better.
Yeah.
It sounded like someone hit him in the face with a shovel, and the side in his head was so red.
And he was trying to
And I give him so much credit because he didn't show like any emotion at all. Like he sucked it up. It was like one of those dad moments when you do something in front of your kids where you do something stupid, but it hurts so bad. Like you stub your toe and you just go, like you grin and bear it. That was him, man.
Dude, his kids are in college.
I know.
Isn't that hard to believe? They were little kids.
Dude, my daughter's going to be going to college soon.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. She a junior?
Next year.
Oh, she's sophomore, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we went down some weird roads today, but the bottom line is the Browns still don't have a coach. And
you want to spend 2 seconds on Baker Mayfield?
Sure. Go ahead. What do you got?
No, just because we didn't touch on that, and it was a big thing yesterday.
That's true. Go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
My thoughts on it were Josh Allen wouldn't tweet it.
Would any quarterback do that?
Lamar Jackson wouldn't tweet it.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes wouldn't tweet it. The second I want to think that Baker is turning over a new leaf, he just reminds us that he still has some of that DNA in him.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just can't get out of his own way. And that might ultimately be his downfall, or not downfall, because he's going to have success. He's already been a great success. But for him to go to the next level to be a Super Bowl champion quarterback, I wonder if some of that ego will still hold him back. That's my thoughts.
Yes.
That's my 2 cents on that.
I think that's definitely played. Like it's when things are going bad and the criticism starts, he sometimes doesn't handle that well. And I think the top quarterbacks, like, they know how to deal with that stuff the right way. You said those guys like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen wouldn't tweet that. Those guys and almost any quarterback in the league, even if so the headline that D. Orlando Ledbetter wrote,
it was almost like he was mad at the headline, and then Stefanski's caught astray.
Right. And, like, even if Stefanski had said it himself, which obviously he wouldn't, I don't think most quarterbacks would even respond, even if the coach had said something similar like that, let alone a reporter saying it. And it wasn't even like Ledbetter was saying that based on something Stefanski said, and he took that out of it. It had nothing. It had zero to do with Stefanski. And Baker used it as an excuse to take a shot he's been wanting to take for a while. So, in a way, I'm a little surprised he hadn't done it sooner.
Yeah.
But this was his opportunity.
I don't know. And then Joe Thomas comes out and kind of takes a shot back at Baker.
Yeah.
It was a more like Joe Thomas's. It wasn't a shot. It was more like, hey, I'm going to be the adult in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just kind of be like, hey, son, a telephone works both ways.
Yeah. And Baker's not saying anything to Joe. No chance.
Nope.
That's not a road he wants to go down. Because the fans will back him when he knocks Stefanski. Browns fans will. Some obviously it's a mixed reaction, but if you go at Joe Thomas, you ain't winning that battle, not in Cleveland.
You don't come at the king.
No,
the Hoff. The Hoff.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah. All right. Thanks to the guys for producing, Alex and Z. Welcome aboard to Levi, who's working with the guys today.
Welcome, Levi.
It's a good name.
It's a great name.
It feels like a very old school, like biblical name.
Levi just feels like a strong name.
Yeah, it's a good one. I don't know if I've ever met a Levi before. Have you?
Today.
Yeah, today's the first time. All right. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening. Let me remind you, folks, before we head out here, that BetRivers players who place the same game parlay of at least $10 on any NFL or NCAA football games will receive an entry into the weekly Squares game. Winning Squares can earn up to a $50 bonus bet per entry. See the BetRivers app or website for more details. All right, Dustin, you're off the rest of the week, so you'll be back with me on Tuesday. I'll be on UCSS today and tomorrow. Until then, we'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here with Bull and Fox in the Bullpen, brought to you by BetRivers.
Peace.